Oh boy, we got a lot to cover today. Hi everyone, and welcome to today's episode of our Congress series. Today we're talking about the 37th Congress from 1861 to 1863. As you can tell by the thumbnail image that we have, yeah, major event. You probably already know what it is, and especially from the time frame I said today. We also got something else interesting that I want to talk about today, but we'll cover that later. So, how many sessions were in this Congress? Well, there were 3, along with a special. Okay. And that brings us to House makeup. Well, the makeup of, well, you guys get the picture. You guys understand this. I made 37 episodes of this series, so you guys know exactly what. Yeah. Anyways. We have 240 members of the House. The Speaker of the House is Galusha Grow, who was a Republican. Which then brings us to membership. We have 106 Republicans, 46 Democrats, however, one of them is an independent Democrat. 30 Unionists, 1 Constitutional Unionist, and 57, that's right, 57 vacancies, which is definitely more than last Thursday. Because if you recall, last Thursday, the House had 29 vacancies. So, yeah. All because of one event, and we'll talk about that later. Let's jump over into the Senate. We have 68 senators, so again, divided up by 2 tells you how many states we have. We have 34, I do believe. Yeah, 34. The president of the Senate, which once again is the vice president, is Hannibal Hamlin, who is a Republican. President pro tempore is Solomon Foote, F-O-O-T, like your foot, who is also Republican. Membership of the Senate is 30 Republicans, 12 Democrats, 7 Unionists, and 19 vacancies, which is also more than it was on Thursday when we talked about the last Congress. But, just by 4 more. And now, this brings us to a major event that happened during this Congress in America at the time. As you all perfectly well know, and especially from the thumbnail image I have of this episode, Confederate forces under the direct command of Jefferson Davis, President of the Confederacy, as you guys might know in history, you guys know what I'm probably going to talk about, ordered the attack of Fort Sumter in South Carolina, which began the Civil War, which is also the bloodiest war America has ever fought. Yeah. Yeah, the image is the attack on Fort Sumter by the Confederacy. I was there a couple years ago, actually. That would have been... I want to say that's 2015, so... No, that's not right. I don't remember. I don't know. It was a couple years ago. It's been a long while since. I mean, I went there for a summer camp one year with my Boy Scout troop, and it was a lot of fun. We were actually on the USS Yorktown, the battleship, and the ship was also like a museum, so we also kind of got to tour around. Well, not tour, but walk around and look around and stuff. It was pretty cool. One of the days we actually went to Fort Sumter, and we also got to raise some flags over at Fort Sumter. This was one of them. Yeah. This right here is the second national flag of the Confederacy. Um, so yeah. But yeah, since I was at Fort Sumter, honestly, it was a lot smaller than how I kind of, pictured in my mind. Because, you expect the fort to be kind of big, but, it kind of wasn't. But yeah, I still had a blast. We had fun. And, yeah. So, that's everything we have to talk about the Congress for today. However, I have something interesting to tell you guys about. As you guys know, yesterday at approximately 7 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock, yeah. March Madness began. Well, actually, yeah, the selection show was over at 7 o'clock yesterday, and the actual tournament doesn't start until Thursday. So we'll talk more about that on Thursday. However, due to games being, I think, starting at noon, I will upload the videos at an earlier time. I just don't know when exactly yet. And thank you, phone, for vibrating and giving me a message. Thank you. That's very thoughtful of you. So, tomorrow we're also going to, well, actually, pretty much all the way up until, the end, we'll talk about who wins and stuff as, as time marches on. Kind of. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. Since today, I want to talk about who I have chosen for my final four for my main bracket, because every year I do this and I always have three brackets. I have my main one, I have a backup, and I have one for shits and giggles. My main is, well, I mean, that's self-explanatory. It's my actual picks, and this year I was a little biased, but we'll get to that in a little bit. My backup is basically whoever I didn't pick to move on to the next round is who I pick, and then I pick who wins from there. So that's kind of how I do that. There was one year I actually got a whole region completely right. Just from doing that. And the one for shits and giggles, obviously that one is more randomized. So, who do I have picking for the Final Four for this year? For those of you who don't know, the Final Four will be in Minneapolis. So, my Final Four are, from the East, Minnesota. Yeah. They somehow make it all the way to the home field advantage. But we'll see what happens. In the West, Baylor. And this is where it kind of gets a little biased. Actually, Minnesota was also kind of biased. But we'll get to that in a sec. In the South, we have Wisconsin. And in the Midwest, we have the High State University. Yeah. In case you didn't know, I have a lot of bias towards, obviously, the Big Ten, because, you know, my main college football team, as those who know me, is the Ohio State University. And, yeah. Going on to the championship, I have Baylor and Ohio State. Again, bias. And championship is, you guys guessed it, the Ohio State University. A lot of bias. Yeah. Please tell me in the comment section below who you have going into the Final Four, and I would love to hear your picks. And wow, we're actually over 10 minutes, and okay, whatever. I always try to keep these Congress videos under 10 minutes, and I went overboard today. I promise that won't be a theme during the times of March Madness, but since, you know, we're talking about March Madness and stuff, and yeah. Next Monday, the 25th, which is also my mom's birthday, I will give you guys an update on how well I'm doing on my brackets so far. Alright, so that's all I got for now. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow for the 38th Congress, and we'll talk more about March Madness. Stay cool, stay tuned. Bye-bye.